Before the refrigerator, entire industries depended on the Milkman and the Iceman. They seemed essential until technology made them disappear. The same thing may now be happening to us. Welcome to Wandt, an AI-narrated video series unpacking the latest lectures and ideas from Professor Adam Scott Wandt. As a faculty member at the John Jay College of Criminal Justice, Professor Wandt creates podcast recordings to outline his research. What you're watching is an AI-assembled cinematic overview of his raw audio notes. While the visuals and voice are synthetic, the underlying warning is real. This outlines his most serious and urgent research regarding the technological threats facing our workforce over the next decade. To understand the future, Professor Wandt points to a story his paternal grandmother shared about growing up in the late 1920s and early 30s. At the time, homes lacked electric refrigeration. Families relied on physical iceboxes to keep food cold. Maintaining that low temperature required the regular delivery of solid carbon dioxide, dry ice, to chill the enclosed space. This necessity created massive local economies. Across a single region, tens of thousands of employees were required just to physically carry blocks of ice and fresh milk directly to residential doors and businesses on a daily basis. Then came the invention of the electric home refrigerator. Once these appliances became commonplace in residences, the sprawling logistical networks of Milkmen and Icemen vanished. Those massive human workforces were rendered completely obsolete overnight. AI is the refrigerator of our era. The very technology meant to automate repetitive tasks threatens to wipe out vast segments of the modern workforce just as swiftly as the icebox disappeared. We don't have to wait to see this cycle repeat. Over the next 10 years, the earliest and most severe economic disruptions will strike the transportation sector. Autonomous tech companies are actively displacing human drivers today. Taxicabs are steadily losing ground to autonomous Waymo vehicles, navigating urban spaces without human operators. Ride-sharing giants like Uber are expected to pivot their entire business model. Instead of paying independent human contractors to drive personal cars, they will likely adopt corporately owned fleets of driverless vehicles, cutting human labor out of the equation entirely. This transition extends far beyond city limits. Tesla and other manufacturers are developing and deploying long-distance autonomous trucks to carry commercial freight across the country. Even in last-mile delivery, automation makes routes hyper-efficient. Self-driving options mean significantly more stops per vehicle, sharply reducing the number of human drivers needed by massive logistics companies like FedEx, UPS, and leading to the replacement of the Postal Service. The millions of people powering our modern physical supply chains are standing exactly where the delivery men of the 1930s stood, on the precipice of total industry obsolescence. It is easy to assume that intellectual or office-based jobs are safe from this cycle. However, the data shows active disruption in entry-level engineering, accounting, and law. Professor Wandt points out a structural paradox forming. Senior professionals can now use AI to accomplish tasks previously requiring an entire team of junior staff. By automating basic coding and document review, firms are deleting the bottom rungs of the corporate ladder. This creates an unanswerable question. If entry-level positions no longer exist, how will new workers gain the hands-on experience required to eventually become senior experts? They won't. By breaking the professional training pipeline, AI is silently threatening the long-term viability of white-collar professions. This efficiency extends into civil service. As AI streamlines data processing and administrative filings, individual municipal workers will be able to handle significantly larger caseloads than they can today, meaning a city's operations will require fewer people to function. This chart shows the projected economic domino effect of these changes. As AI forces mass unemployment across both blue-collar and white-collar sectors, the blue employment line plummets. Because income tax is tied directly to employment, the red government tax revenue line will simultaneously crash. To prevent total systemic collapse, Professor Wandt notes that governments will have to explore implementing AI replacement taxes, often called robo-taxes. This means charging corporations for the automated labor they use to offset the lost public revenue. Shifting the tax burden from human labor to automation suggests that the very ways we fund society will need to change. Navigating this decade will involve moving away from traditional income models to keep the economy afloat as millions of taxpayers are displaced. The tech industry continues to push a comforting public relations narrative, telling the public that AI will simply act as a tool to help people do their current jobs better. Professor Wandt views this as a lie. In practice, the incentive for corporations to adopt AI is to maximize efficiency, which results in the direct elimination of roles rather than the support of them. Despite the grim forecast, there are proactive steps individuals can take today. Understanding the tools, adapting your skill set, and staying informed are the best ways to ensure your viability in this future economy. The transition ahead will be highly disruptive, and society must approach the preparation seriously and thoughtfully. Like, follow, and subscribe for more deep dives into emerging technology, digital investigations, and the ideas shaping our future. And remember, stay curious and want knowledge.